your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Friday, the 11th day of October in the year 2019. Here's what we're tracking tonight. As the National Two-House Conference wraps up, the People's National Congress Reform, which forms part of the coalition government, believes that there could be no doubt that under the coalition government, the lives of the indigenous people have been improved, and there has also been development in the hinterland region. At the PNC's weekly press conference this morning, Coalition Member of Parliament Mervyn Williams said that people in the hinterland areas are aware of the developments that are taking place in their communities.
The hinterland is experiencing a revolution in public infrastructure development. These infrastructural developments are having a positive effect on residents and contributing to the improvement of the quality of their lives. The developments include paving and rehabilitation of roads. It is apposite to note that 350 kilometers of roads have been rehabilitated. In addition, many bridges that are critical to the development of the hinterland have been constructed. This is a far cry from the days when the PPP dictators treated the hinterland and its people with contempt and used whatever little development occurred in the hinterland as a basis for accumulation of wealth by the corrupt and dishonest PPP friends and family regime.
Mr. Williams said the PNC Reform is pleased that its partners in the APNU-AFC coalition have been working together to address issues that have been affecting the country's hinterland region.
Our hinterland and its people are on the course to genuine development, and they intend to stay there. The People's National Congress Reform is proud that our partners in the APNU-AFC correctly diagnosed the problems facing youth in our hinterland and quickly established the Hinterland Employment and Youth Services, HAYS, which has trained over 4,000 young people. 2,500 of those youths were able to set up their own businesses and are on the way to becoming entrepreneurs and ending their dependency on state handouts.
He also said when it comes to taking care of the indigenous people, the APNU-AFC coalition is a superior choice. The opposition PPP has accused the government of not doing enough for the hinterland communities, but the government's position is that it has done more in 4 years than the PPP did in 23 years in office. More news coming up in a moment.
The Ethnic Relations Commission ERC wishes to inform that it continues to monitor the outputs of the Guyanese media and comments posted on social media outlets. The Commission would like to discourage persons and institutions from heightening tensions through incitement and from indulging in advocating or promoting discrimination or discriminatory practices on the ground of ethnicity. All are reminded that Section 139D1 of the Representation of the People's Act states that any person who makes or publishes or causes to be made or published any statement or takes any action which results or can result in racial or ethnic violence or hatred among the people shall be liable on conviction on indictment to a fine of $100,000 together with the imprisonment for 2 years. The Commission urges all to be familiarized with this law and to be responsible in their related endeavors.
A message from the ERC, working to build a united Guyana through the promotion of harmony and good relations.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95, tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95, tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive!
All across our nation, Guyana, we see it in your lives. The future growing even stronger. GBTI, all eyes on Guyana skies. As the voices of our people rise again, GBTI, Guyana's pride is in your eyes, GBTI, we see Guyana through your eyes.
Hi Guyana. I am Ambika Ramraj, Miss World Guyana 2018 and your GTT Pinktober Ambassador for 2019. Pinktober is GTT's flagship event aimed at raising cancer awareness and facilitating access to support for all Guyanese. In 2017, we raised $4 million. In 2018, we nearly tripled that amount. Thus, we have been able to continue our fight against cancer by providing support to multiple foundations such as the Giving Hope Foundation and GRPA. This year, our aim is to do even more, but we need your help. Become a corporate sponsor for Pinktober 2019. Visit our website www.gtt.co.gy/Pinktober 2019 for more information on how. GTT is in the business of saving lives, so join us now.
Welcome back. 31 new electrical standards have been developed by the Guyana National Bureau of Standards as it pushes to ensure citizens are better protected from faulty electrical works and equipment. The new standards will come into force from February of next year. The GNBS will be publishing the names of those companies and importers that are following the standards in an effort to ensure consumer protection.
The Bureau of Standards, through the Electrotechnical Committee, would have developed a total of 31 national standards. These standards were approved by the National Standard Council as national standards, and they were subsequently made mandatory through Cabinet, meaning that these standards are now technical regulations. So it would guide the importation of products, of all electrical installation products imported. However, based on a requirement of WTO, we are required to provide 6-month notification to all importers and dealers to ensure compliance.
And the GNBS will be working along with other government agencies to ensure the electrical standards are followed.
We will carry out our normal investigation to see what is the issue with it. If it is that it's not within the standards that has been developed by the Bureau and passed by the Cabinet, we would then do intelligence sharing with the Bureau of Standards. So myself and Mr. Rai would maintain a relationship all the time in terms of these electrical standards and adherence to them, because our greatest concern is the safety of consumers, right? And we will continue to do what we have to do. We will have more advocacy in terms of this area so that people know their rights and suppliers in particular adhere to the law.
Minister within the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Jaipal Sharma, said homeowners must also ensure that they know what they are buying and ought to take precautions with electrical items in their homes.
I take this opportunity to encourage electrical engineers and GNBS inspectors here today to keep abreast of the National Electrical Codes, which is updated every 3 years. The National Electrical Code provides practical information and safety guidelines for the performance of electrical work in a safe and effective way. With those words, I congratulate the team for a successful launch and implementation of the 31 new electrical standards.
The government agencies will also be encouraging those involved in electrical wiring to be certified and to also follow the standards that are required in the industry. Let's tell you now that with over 700 reported cases of fires for this year so far, the Guyana Fire Service is urging members of the public to understand the importance of fire prevention and to play their part. The theme for this year's Fire Prevention Week is Save Lives, Protect Property, Strive Towards a Green Environment. An exhibition and fire prevention fair was hosted today at Durban Park. Divisional Commander of the Guyana Fire Service, Gregory Wickham, said there is the need for individuals to play a greater role in the prevention of fires in this country. Although there have already been 700 reported cases of fires for this year, that number is actually lower when compared to previous years.
Persons would resort to actually tampering with electrical connections, or let us say steal electricity. All right? It is my advice to them to desist from doing so, because what we would have scrutinized also is that due to these things, having illegal connections and so forth, or overloading your circuit breaker in your homes, it contributes a lot to not just electrical fires, but fires in the whole.
Electrical problems are one of the main causes for fires in Guyana. While several Guyanese are among the latest group of immigrants arrested in the United States by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency during raids in a number of states. The names of those arrested were not released, but Guyanese were held in the New York area. It is unclear what may have triggered their arrest. Citizens of at least 15 other countries were also arrested. According to U.S. media reports, while several of those nabbed were criminal immigrants who had committed serious crimes including rape, sexual abuse, and assaults on children, as well as weapons and assault charges, many were nabbed for crimes such as operating a vehicle without a license and driving with a suspended license. ICE has said it does not exempt classes or categories of removable aliens from potential enforcement. The agency has been stepping up its arrest of foreign nationals on various violations. Police in the Northwest District are continuing their probe of the murder of two brothers who worked as fishermen in the area. The bullet-riddled bodies of Ian and Rakesh Matthias were found yesterday morning close to the Shell Beach area, hours after residents reported hearing a number of gunshots in the area. According to the residents, on Wednesday afternoon, rapid gunfire was heard for several minutes, and the police and Coast Guard were summoned. However, they could not locate the men in the area where they would usually go to fish. But yesterday, the bodies of the two men were found in the same area, with multiple gunshot and other injuries. The police commander in the area, Wendell Blanham, said a full investigation is underway. In the courts, a police corporal who was based in Berbice and a Berbice resident were today charged with being in possession of more than 100 pounds of marijuana for the purpose of trafficking. The two were busted earlier this week with the marijuana in the trunk of the car they were in. In court today, the attorney for Police Corporal Quincy Backus claimed that on the day in question, the policeman was driving from Berbice to Georgetown when he offered a ride to the other man, Ramu Singh. The attorney said the policeman had no idea that the large bags Singh was carrying contained the marijuana. But the prosecution told the court that the vehicle was nabbed in South Rheinveld following a tip-off to the police. The investigators were told that the policeman, who was dressed in his uniform, was using that privilege to traffic marijuana. It was revealed that there were several large parcels of the marijuana found in the vehicle, and both men were arrested. In court today, the other accused, Ramu Singh, was unrepresented. He was remanded to jail on the marijuana trafficking charge, while the policeman was granted bail in the sum of $300,000. Both men will make their next court appearance later this month. And the police are investigating the death of a 67-year-old woman who was found strangled to death in a Border Street home. She has been identified as Marva Utkirk. The woman was found last evening with a mosquito net tied around her neck. It is suspected that she may have been attacked and strangled to death during the course of a robbery at the home. She was last seen alive on Wednesday evening. A relative has since revealed that the pensioner was the caretaker for the home of the late Guyanese stalwart Magda Pollard. A number of items were found missing from the house. The body is at the city morgue awaiting a post-mortem examination as the police continue with their investigation. Across the region is coming up next.
There once was a man named Stan whose business needed a new plan. Christmas was coming, this much was true. He needed some help but didn't know what to do. Then fast as a flash, 3 helpers did come from Republic Bank. They came with some. One had low interest rates, one reduced equity, one with approval so quick and easy. Now Stan is the man and his business is booming. Christmas is good and he is winning. Reach more customers and boost your business with a Republic Small Business Loan today.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
The Rotary Club of Stabrook presents a Halloween costume party Saturday, October 26, 2019 at Herdmanston Lodge. Get your costumes ready and rock the night away to DJ Rocky Carew and Green Dungs from 8 p.m. Admission is only $2,000. The Rotary Club of Stabrook Halloween Costume Party Saturday, October 26th. Powered by Heineken.
Tired of long lines? Register with MyGTT at mygtt.co.gy. That's mygtt.co.gy to view and pay your bills from anywhere. Enter to win an Amazon gift card worth $25 or a bounty voucher worth 5,000 Guyana dollars when you sign up today. GTT, do more.
Across the region right now, in neighboring Venezuela, ambulances have become the latest casualty of Venezuela's unraveling political and economic crisis, struggling to fuel up and speed away to emergencies as gasoline scarcities deepen. Long lines winding for miles up to several service stations are often commonplace for residents living in border states and remote areas of the South American country, which has the world's largest proven oil reserves. But first responders in the mountainous state of Taquarina said this week they are now being stripped of the priority service due to the work of smugglers who sneak Venezuela's dirt-cheap gas to Colombia for huge profits. Medical workers say it's only a matter of time before shortages lead to a needless death. While Cuba's top legislative body will no longer include members of the country's historical generation of former rebels, part of a broader political reform that started to go into effect yesterday. Members of the National Assembly voted near unanimously for Miguel Diaz-Canel, 59, to remain in place as the president. They also voted for 75-year-old Esteban Lazo to remain head of the National Assembly. Under the reform, Lazo also becomes head of the Council of State, the top legislative body, a post previously held by Diaz-Canel and his predecessors Raul Castro and Fidel Castro. The Council of State oversees the passage of new laws and has some oversight of the President of the Republic. In the coming months, Diaz-Canel will appoint a prime minister to run the daily workings of the government. And finally, at this time, international news. At least one person is dead in a fast-moving wildfire that has razed 4,700 acres north of Los Angeles, forcing thousands of others to flee. The fire has led to mandatory evacuation for 25,000 homes, some of which have been destroyed. A lorry with burning rubbish sparked another fire on Thursday east of LA. The state's largest utility this week pulled the plug on at least 700,000 customers to prevent wildfires sparked by wind-blown power lines. The fire has been fueled by gusty winds, warm temperatures, and low humidity. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight and this week. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting. Enjoy the weekend.